Sixers Wolves, and it comes your way right here on MVC. This is our starting lineup tonight, not a new starting lineup for you. Bear, Minnesota in the gray and green tonight. Sixers in their City Edition whites. Daniels out to Randall. Randall had just come back from a 13-game absence when we saw the Timberwolves in Minnesota in early March. Good deflection and steal by Justin Edwards there.
Justin playing the denial, playing the passing lanes, coming up with that pass from Gobert.
And since then, Randall has rounded nicely into form. Again, Justin Edwards was unavailable because of a sprained ankle for the Sixers in that March contest. This is our big Frenchman, Gershon Yabusele. Shot clock winding down. Gershon sees it and hits the pretty turnaround.
Control all the while.
Gershon got the start in that March contest in Minnesota, had 18 points and 7 rebounds. His fellow Frenchman Rudy Gobert there, and Rudy has been playing much better on the season high with 21 Thursday in Brooklyn. And he's put up 20 plus in a couple of games the last week. Adem shoved by Gobert, no whistle. Gershon looking for 5 early. That one too strong. This is the veteran point guard, 18th year now in the NBA for the 37-year-old Mike Conley.
Coach Finch talked about Conley and how he has changed his organization's the feel around it because of his professionalism. The way he goes about conducting his business has been contagious to others in the organization.
Yeah, doing a nice job as Gershon takes it all the way to the cup, lays it up and in for 2. McDaniels and others. Here's Jaden McDaniels. Of course, his brother Jalen was a one-time Sixer a couple of years ago. Edwards with the Swats. And then the other Edwards with the corner 3. And I think this is where I tell you, higher NBA. 297 on the season. He's now pulled even with the guy who was in the 1 spot, Malik Beasley of the Detroit Pistons, who are also playing right now tonight. Good idea. Gershon was trying. Detail there. Butler spins it down to R. Edwards, who puts it up and in.
Good action, quick off the floor is Justin. He's got to get it quick up to the basket with guys like Gobert around.
Good start by Justin Edwards, a steal, a block, and a bucket. This is Anthony Edwards, off the mark on that 3-point attempt. Dem had 6 rebounds in addition to those 28 points Thursday. Jared Butler creating a nice little combo with Adem Bona. Keeps it himself that time.
That move finally got to a space on the floor, knew where the defender was in relation to the basket. Nice little knockdown from Jared.
Jared Butler had 14 points Thursday against Milwaukee. He's got 14 plus in 5 of the Sixers' last 6 games. Edwards, oh my goodness. Good. That is why he is one of the up-and-coming stars in the NBA. And R. Edwards, Justin answers right back.
That's the kind of stuff that he's capable of if you give him room to operate. Ridiculously athletic, my goodness.
You heard the oohs and ahs. There's a lot of Timberwolves and specifically Anthony Edwards fans in attendance. Not surprisingly, the touch pass there over to McDaniels. The net on this end is still sucked up in the rim. Let's see if they stop play or just wait for another shot to go through for the T-Wolves.
I'm old enough to remember that would be addressed right away.
It could be addressed right here. Anthony Edwards, he is the main reason.
Yeah, and Coach, enter the playoffs when your body is catching that second wind.
Especially because he played a career-high 50 minutes in that double overtime thriller of a win for Minnesota in Denver on Tuesday. Quentin Grimes surrounded out, and Lonnie Walker IV has been the season for Nick Nurse and the Sixers. One injury after another. Conley keeps it himself. The floater is strong. And Zabar Kuchi, Andy Nagy, and Evan Scott. So the first delay of game tonight, and first on the Timberwolves.
You didn't want to hear what Rudy had to say in any language.
Butler out to Bona. Turning the corner. Damn. I think he threw himself off a bit there. Lost the ball as he went up for it.
Yeah, I wonder if Randall had anything to do with that.
Randall draws the foul. Society 70. 215-339-7676. Randall splits the free throws. Bona in there for the rebounds. 11-9, Sixers in front. This is how Thursday's game started for the Timberwolves as well. Everyone expected them to be blowing out the Brooklyn Nets, and Brooklyn actually had the lead, similar to how the Sixers had the first quarter lead over Milwaukee. Grimes with the shot clock winding down, leaves that one short.
Defender all over him. In this case, McDaniels, no slouch as a defender either.
And that might might be almost an understatement.
Yeah.
He and Nikhil Alexander-Walker is going to come off the bench for Minnesota briefly, a couple of the best defenders in the NBA. Randall, no. Shot altered by Adem. And then gets it to go on the baseline because at this point, Adem has first quarter.
Yeah, he has to be selectively aggressive right now. He can't just go all out. He's got to play with a little bit of control, a little bit of poise.
Gave us the thumbs up over on the Sixers bench, so hoping to have him back in shortly. This is McDaniels, tied up by Lonnie Walker. Good hands by Lonnie. Here come the Sixers.
Yeah, McDaniels brought it down, and that's where Lonnie was able to get his hand on it.
Butler can't connect on that three. Sixers 1 for 5 now from beyond the arc. Here's the Villanova legend Dante DiVincenzo off the mark on his first shot attempt.
Good job of not fouling. Don't bail anybody out on drives like that one with DiVincenzo.
Ricky over to Gershon Yabusele, who was good from outside on Thursday. 4 for 9 in that loss to the Bucks. Still looking for his first three-pointer tonight. Now 0 for 2. Wolves aren't shooting much better. They're 1 for 5 from beyond. 4 of 13 from the floor area earlier in the first quarter.
On his side.
He was fourth with 5 minutes to go. Gershon behind the defense. Taken. McDaniels, the jump stop, and contributes $7.76 with an additional 7.6% in interest from NerdWallet for a chance to win that whole pot. Visit the website on your screen. Good to see Lonnie Walker available tonight. He left the game Thursday in the third quarter. Gershon can't connect from outside after stepping on a fan in the front row. It was listed as a heel contusion, and he didn't return in the fourth quarter. So good to see Lonnie here tonight. Edwards, the drive and kick. DiVincenzo from downtown.
They wanted to execute just that.
Butler to Castleton. Over to Lonnie Walker. And the Reading PA native hits from downtown.
Lonnie knew where he wanted to head with it right away. No hesitation getting it to him.
Edwards can't connect on the three. Around 4 minutes to play is brought to you by Toyota. Visit Toyota.com to find your 2025 RAV4 Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Butler, off front iron.
Him a little bit, came in, he kind of eased his way into the year, but now he seems to be hitting his stride.
He's 23 years old, spent a year at the University of Georgia, did Anthony Edwards. This is Julius Randle, spent a year at Kentucky on the NCAA game that's going on right now, since he's played right now record-wise with both the Clippers and the Memphis Grizzlies. All three of those teams are 45 and 32. Both the Clippers and Grizzlies are playing tonight. Minnesota in the 6th spot because they hold the tiebreaker over both of those teams. Castleton off the nice pass from Walker.
Castleton slipped behind him there. Nice finish.
DiVincenzo around and out from the other wing. But every game is important as Minnesota tries to avoid the play-in. Wants to get one of those top 6 spots. A two-man game here between Castleton and Walker. This time it's Cullen finding Lonnie for 3. Randall bodying his way in nicely on the baseline.
Yeah, if you allow him to go left all the way to the cup, he's going to be very effective. You've got to stop that penetration, especially to the strong hand.
Edwards back in the game. Good looking shot, just a little bit off as it rings out. Here's Naz Reid. 6th man of the year last season and picked up where it left off this year. A key piece of the T-Wolves' success.
Yeah, they seem to want to go at Justin a little bit here. Whoever he is covering for the last couple trips down, they've gone right at him, forcing him to defend.
That's a good way to slow down an offensive guy, make him work on the defensive ends. Grimes picked up his dribble, needs some help. Shot clock winding down. Edwards takes it away. Chivino's got to get it up. He does. But they're getting tonight for the Sixers. Jeff Downton and Alex Reese getting very close to the game limit allowed on those two-way contracts, so they are unavailable tonight as Reed goes back-to-back on the offensive ends.
Yeah, they went to Reed against Justin this time. Reed against a different defender. They don't seem to be deterred right now. Whoever you throw at him, especially the big body like Castleton.
Good move by Hood Chivino. Drops it off to Castleton, and Castleton hits from the baseline, so a good
53% from the field right now.
DiVincenzo on the reverse.
Too easy. a lot involved there offensively.
As you mentioned, though, the Sixers shooting, keeping them in this one. Good ball movement as well. Hood-Schifino went with the finger roll. I think that one was deflected. Randall spinning. Dangerous pass there from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but it makes it all the way across the court to DiVincenzo. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter. Randall with 5. A couple of former Knicks going toe-to-toe, and Quinton wins that battle. Castleton gets it to him.
Randall's slow with that release. Thought he had the shot earlier, but he was just kind of too deliberate.
Yeah, a lot of shots have looked a little bit awkward for both teams. A lot of guys in this first quarter. That time of the season, everybody's working through something. Final 5 seconds of this first quarter. Walker short on the step back. DiVincenzo heaves.